You also liked him adding lower deck abilities. Yeah, I thought that was a great touch to the game as well. If they could revisit some of the older common uncommon ones and give them abilities to make them more relevant, that would also be a nice touch. Because you're right, there are a horde of officers that never get used for anything. You know, if you just sort by rarity, most of these most of these common officers don't get used for anything. Occasionally, you might throw someone in like a lower deck spot for no reason, just to fill up capacity on a ship to give it a little bit of a boost. I tend to do that sometimes with mining ships. I'll put just random like the cadet crew because I'm never going to use them again for anything else. So I'll throw some of the cadets below decks on like a mining ship or something like that, just to give it a little more stats. So that way, if someone does try and hit me OPC, I cause a little bit more damage to them with that. And there's a number of these uncommon officers in here that also don't get used on a regular basis. When do we use 718? When do we use Quag or Linkasa or Yanag? Yeah, really not ever. Lennar, very rarely. Origins Burnham, like never. So it would be nice to give Arcady and Scotty and Sulu, like a lot of these guys kind of, you know, they would be useful to players in their mid 20s, but now we've done some power creep and we have some of these new crews like the Strange New Worlds crew, the Deep Space Nine crew, the Lower Decks officers, um, Discovery crew and things like that. That a lot of these original faction officers, um, maybe they're good enough for away teams, but more likely than that, probably not. And they just end up sitting there taking up space. Their cards sitting in a binder. They don't have any real gameplay value. I've been neglectful. Am I dead? Oh no, I'm not dead. Look at that. Let me, before I forget, let me join my dailies over here. We're doing FedRep for the reputation. We're doing the Romulan events for the faction credits. We're getting closer. I'm just over 100 blueprints now. Only like 45 more to go and I can unlock the auger on this account. Since my shield's about to go down, we're just going to swap ships there. Just in case somebody happens to fly by and hit my base while I'm not paying attention. I could bubble up, but I want to do some PvP stuff a little later today. So Madrox had another idea for Scopely about this. Being that captain's abilities don't change with rank, why don't you use some sort of upgrade rarity mechanic loop to be able to upgrade to the next rarity and add stats to their captain's ability? This would only be helpful if they go to Ops 70 plus and start with legendary officers. Yeah, That's an interesting idea. When we've seen similar mechanics in other games where you can get some type of upgrade to an officer and or to an ability or something like that, and go back and take an old thing and boost it up so it's now more comparable to the new thing. So you can bring along some of your favorite officers and things like that. It would sort of be indicative of them possibly getting a promotion or of some sort, or just getting better with age and experience. So, if you really like using that Kelvin Kirk, and now suddenly he's just relegated to an empty slot, maybe you could give him some type of permanent modifier, permanent boost that makes his captain's ability a little better, or just boosts his stats to the point where now he's better than a number of other officers. And for $99.99 per officer, you can have that too. Imagine an uncommon Talon or a rare Chen. Sure, if they had more stats and were able to get boosted another, 5 or 10 officer levels or whatever. So it would certainly change things a little bit there. Again, I'm sure it'd be something that they would want to sell, of course, to make money off of, and I don't know that people would see enough value in boosting that. There are a lot of people who don't even care about getting like Pike above tier 1, because they're like, I only use him for the captain's ability, I don't give a shit about the stats. Even though it does have good value to do it. It's just not something that appeals to them. So, alright, so what did we get? We did our threat reduction. We finished our incursion by doing that one research, which was awesome. What's the rewards here? Just more Latinum, okay. We did our Armada events. I don't have any more favors to redeem. I do need to go kill some Gem Hadar. That shouldn't take long. We did this event. Threat should be partially done? Yeah, it's mostly done. Okay, so my main account is in pretty good shape. We'll go do our Gem Hadar killing. I'm going to take the Valdor for that because it needs the ship XP still. But that also means I need Talon. We could take Kath. I was going to say I need Talon back for that, but I could take Kath. She's not that much of a drop-off. She's 15%. Talon's 20%. It'll be good enough to get it done. I hope. Or this is going to be embarrassing. So you're just saying that they're just boosting the officers, changing an uncommon to a rare so their captain's ability gets better? It's possible. A lot of them don't really have much in the way of captain's abilities, but maybe there's something that can make it, if it got a little bit of an upgrade. If you took, say, Yanag, who I don't even know what he does. When the opponent's ship shield health is depleted, he increases the weapon damage by 10%. So when you run out of shields, he starts doing more damage. So you're saying you make him a rare officer instead, and now maybe this is a 25% boost here. And then because he's a rare officer, now it's synergy, that gets even higher, so maybe now it goes up instead of being like 10% on each side, now it's 25% on each side. So it goes from being like a 30% boost to like a 75% boost. It could potentially be good. I'm sure that would certainly cause people some anxiety over figuring out which officers to use it on, especially if it's a a one-time deal, or like it only comes around every 6 months and you get one officer to pick from. Which one would you pick? Would you want to boost your cadet LaForge to make an extra grinding crew by bumping up his ability, making him from a common to an uncommon? Do you need another grinding crew? Yeah, it would only be, I think his idea would only be for lower level officers, commons and uncommon officers, to try and find a way to give them more value. Officers who are already rare in Epic wouldn't be eligible for this type of upgrade yet. But it certainly could open the door to some type of upgrade like that in the future. Very interesting idea. For those of you watching this later, that's Madrox76. Make sure to give him credit for said idea, unless you've seen it somewhere else earlier. But as of today, this is his idea. Triple stamped it, no erases.